Thank you for your time. I'm financial specialist Jonathan Curl. For those of you who are new to my channel, let me first share this with you that we are very intentional at the Capital Gains channel about delivering quality and credible information that is complete, that is just very, very real. Oftentimes, I've found that most of the information that is given in the area of financial literacy, especially to younger adults, especially to high school students, it's not real. It's not indicative of how numbers work in real life. And I've also found that the truth isn't told to you or taught about how to really choose a major and the true impact of it. And this produces somewhat of some frustration, or has produced some frustration in me. And this is why I've decided to take on this topic matter or subject matter and share with you what is not taught or told to you about how to truly plan for college and high school. So let's jump right into it. What you want to do, and the sources that you're going to see today are listed in the description. And I want you to use these sources for yourself. So let's go to payscale.com. Payscale.com allows you to see how much money a particular major or career is going to pay you that's associated with that major. I'm using the communications field right now as an illustration. The communication field is also a field that's close to me because outside of finance, then I run and I own a media business. And so that's why I'm choosing this, because I'm well-versed in the communications field. So what you want to do, you use this resource here, payscale.com. Again, the link is in the description below. And you want to search for whatever the discipline is or major is that you are interested in right there. I'm going to show you how to tie all these numbers together so that you will know the real impact of these numbers and what this particular or whatever the major is that you are thinking about participating in, what it will deliver you. So you see here the average salary for a journalist. So this is, you have a degree in communications, you got your BS degree, and you want to be a journalist or a reporter. So the average salary across the United States is $41,480 a year for a journalist. And the point that I want to bring out also, that I want to pull out from this also for you to think about, is every major or career has a certain amount of money built into it. And it has nothing to do with how hard you work or how many degrees you get in it. It can only pay you but so much. So I just want you to have that as a footnote and establish that foundation that some degrees pay more. So some degrees are worth it and some degrees aren't worth it. And this process, this lesson today, is going to help you to determine, at least from a mathematical standpoint, what degrees or which degrees are worth it and which degrees are not worth it, mathematically speaking. So the average salary for a reporter in the United States or journalist is $41,480. When you scroll down on this page, this shows you what growth looks like. And you want to take into account or investigate, when you are thinking about a major, how much growth is involved in that major, meaning how far can you go in and how far can you increase your income in a particular discipline. So in this particular discipline or subset of the communication field for journalists, PayScale on average is saying that it will take up to 10 to 19 years before you can get to $60,000 a year. Now, we're going to compare that to something else. But again, use this tool and insert the major or the field, the discipline that you are interested in to see how much money it's going to pay you. So most of you are going to be, when you're coming out of college with a bachelor's degree, if you don't decide to go further. So this is what a BS degree is going to afford you. So $32,000 for less than a year. Some people, you can get an internship or something like that. Or sometimes they may, with a BS degree with less than 1 year of experience in the community or as a journalist, there are some places in the country that are starting you at $32,000. On average, you're writing here, this 1 to 4 year period of time, $40,000. Now, here is the entry level communication specialist salary, average $44,969 in Baltimore, which is where I'm at, Baltimore, Maryland. Then the average salary is $45,716 right here. And that's something else that you have to think about is for a particular discipline or major that you are interested in, that career path, where in the country is going to pay you the most money. I'm not saying that the money is the only thing to consider in your decision-making process, but it is something to consider. It's not the major factor, but it is something to be included in your decision-making process. You feel me? All right, $45,716. This is, and this is from ZipRecruiter. Just want to announce that who the source is on this. This is salary.com. I find this to be interesting. With a bachelor's degree in communications, a communications manager salary. So to be a manager, this means that on this career path, you may be right around here, somewhere in the 5 to 9 year period to be a manager. It could be a little more, but somewhere in this period of time here is where you're going to be at to be considered for an entry-level management position. So here, this is a bachelor's degree, $105,000. So $105,000, $114,000. With a master's degree, $107,000 to $115,000. And for a PhD, you had $108,000 to $116,000. As you see, the income is not increasing substantially based on the degree. However, if you are not of those who where your college degree or college education is paid for and you have to utilize student loans to finance your college education, well, at a bachelor's degree, depending upon if it's online or not, you may be $70,000 to $100,000. Some places might be $50,000, but on average, I'm seeing between $70,000 and $100,000 a year. At the PhD level, you are over $100,000. You may be, $130,000, $150,000, approximately. Could be a little less, could be a little bit more, but somewhere in that range. So you have to weigh that to say, is it worth, for this particular major, is it worth incurring significant amount of debt in order to see a very small marginal increase in income? That's something that you have to weigh for yourself. Now, let's tie this together so you can see how this works. This is the tax reform calculator. And what we're going to do, and what I want you to do, is to take the major that you are interested in, that career path, and insert the salary. So after you've gone through this process, you've gone to payscale.com and you did the search to find out what the average salary is. Then I want you to insert that average salary into the federal tax return calculator. So if we are 40 some $1,000 on average, 44,969. So let's use this 44,969. We know that that's in harmony with where we are right here, 40,000. So that's 44,000. 44,969. So let's use that right here. 44,969. Why am I asking you to do this? I'm asking you to do this so that when you click calculate, also choose the state that you are in. And then you scroll down and this will show you what your take-home pay is going to be after taxes. Now, your take-home pay or your income, how much money you have, determines what quality of life you are able to afford. So with $44,969 as a salary after taxes, now if you have children, this is going to change. This is for a single person, no child, right? You don't have any dependents. That's what this is. If you do, then you would insert that and you would insert that information into the calculator here, and then it will show you, give you a more precise outcome on how much money you will have at the end of the month. Typically, if there are children involved, then it goes up some. So here, off from $44,969 a year salary, you are bringing home at the end of the month $2,993.88. So now we have to look at that and say, is that enough? So $2,993.88. And what I want you to do next is this. Let's go to Google. And let's assume now that you're not living at home and you want to venture out and you have your own place and you're ready to start your own life. And if you are moving to another state for your job, then you won't obviously be at home. Then you won't have to pay rent. So for here, this is already in here. I want you to do a Google search on the average cost of rent for your state. Okay, and we see here, according to rentcalf.com, the average rent for an apartment in Baltimore City is $1,483. Let's look at this to a little bit more detail and let's see what they are talking about. Average apartment size, 823. I could somewhat question that. However, this is about right. On average, it's depending on the neighborhood that you want to live in. So about $1,500 a month is about the average cost of rent in Baltimore City, Baltimore, Maryland. And to live in some of the better neighborhoods, then you are $1,800, $1,900, $2,000 a month. And that's also depending on if it's a studio or one bedroom. And then from there, of course, the price is going to go up. So let's just say $1,500 a month. So we're going to take that and put that into our calculator. And we are $2,993.83 at the end of the month, minus $1,500 for our rent, minus utilities. Utilities may be $200 a month. So that's your gas, electric, water bill. And in Baltimore, the water bill, it could be a little bit higher. They're working on it though. They are working on it. So $200 a month for your utilities. You have to eat. Let's put $400 a month for food for your groceries. Yours might be a little bit more, could be a little bit less in light of inflation, like the pandemic right now. And it's probably for one person, you probably in the neighborhood about $400 a month. So, so now we have rent, we have utilities, we have food. Let's throw in, we have to have internet. So I'm right around $96 a month for internet. Cell phone is $50 a month. And let's say you want to have a particular entertainment app, Amazon Prime or Netflix. So if you're doing Netflix, you are, I think the HD package is somewhere around $19 a month, and somewhere in there. I don't know exactly. I don't forgot now, but it might be about $19 a month. So let's just put that in there, $19 a month, approximately. So we're left with $728.83 a month. Now, from here, this is where your variables come into play. Variables such as, do you have a car? If so, how much are you paying for your car? Are there any additional insurances that you are paying for? Are you paying for your life insurance policy? Are you getting life insurance covered through your job? If you are getting life insurance covered through your job, you still may want to consider having a third party, a life insurance policy, just as a sidebar, because most companies, once you no longer work for those companies, then the benefits such as a life insurance policy will terminate at that point in time as well. But for the sake of this illustration, let's just say you got a job and you're buying a car so you can have transportation to move around. If you're not, if you're not living next door to your job, or if you're not working at home from a remote job. If you are, then from here, this is what you have left over. And then you can calculate such as how often do you eat out per week. But let's just take this and let's just say that you have a car. You want to get around. So we're going to say 728, we're going to minus, let's say your car note might be about $250 a month. That's about average. And then your insurance on that car may run you, depending on what your driving record is like, but let's just be modest and let's say $150 a month. So now you're down to $328.83. This is real. So we're giving you a realistic illustration. So at the end of the month, you have $328.83 left. Now you have to ask yourself the question, is that enough? Now, I don't want you to have in your mind that that's forever. That's not a fixed number. That's for a period of time. Remember, here, your growth, it takes you 10 to 19 years before you get to $60,000. So you may be five years. Let's just say 5 years before you see your next pay increase, like anything significant. So for the next 5 years, at the end of the month, you left with $328.83. Now, let's run that same calculation again, 19 years down the road, according to PayScale. And again, I want to reiterate, you want to investigate the particular career path that you are choosing for growth potential. How much money is in it for you? That there's growth in it. And how much is it? You don't want to pick a career path where the most that you could get, regardless if you have a PhD, master's, or a bachelor's degree, is $50,000. Let's just use that for an example. You may not want to, depending upon what your goals are in life, a course, but just mathematically, we're just dealing with the numbers now. Just mathematically, well, you may not want to do that. So let's just say we are now 10, 19 years down the road at $60,000. Let's go back to our calculator. And again, let me write that down. We're at 2,900, and this is variations from the last tax reform we have. This is as of 2017 when it was approved right here. So let's go to, you had 2,993 at the end of the month. So let's now take that 44,000 to 60,000. And you now see we are at 3,863. So let's go out to our calculator. And that's 3,863.33. Refresh that. 3,863.33 minus our 2,993, and that should be 33.88. So that's a difference of $869.45 at the end of the year. So that's a difference again of so you just gotta, so you work 19 years to get a I'm sorry, at the end of the month, that breaks down to $869.45 difference. So you worked 5 years, I'm sorry, you worked 10 to 19 years to get a pay increase of $869.45 at the end of the month. Well, let's run the math on that. 3,000, clear it out, I'll refresh this again. And that's 3,863. Go back. 863.33 minus our, we did 1,500 for rent, right? We did 200 for utilities. We did 400 for food, groceries. We did 19 for Netflix, 50 for cell phone, minus the 250 for car, note 150. And that leaves us at the end of the month with $1,294.33. So that's, we were at, was it 383? So yeah, all right. So we back on, the additional $869 increase. So at the end of the month, you have $1,294.33. If that affords you your quality of life and that works for you, well, you good. If that doesn't work for you, then you have a decision to make. Now, let's do this. We see that with this particular career path, this leaves us with, in terms of the subset category of communication being a journalist, you're left after 10 to 19 years of working. At the end of the month, you now have $1,294.33. Now, let me just have some real talk with you here for a moment here. Take into account now that for those 10 to 19 years, you putting up with people's attitudes, you dealing with your boss, right? You dealing with running around, potentially lifting equipment, dealing with all kinds of, just dealing with different personalities. So I'm not saying that it's good or bad, right? I'm not being negative or positive. I'm just giving you the reality of it. So there's some, you're gonna have some good days and you're gonna have some bad days. And that's with everything, right? Every day is not going to be sunshine. And at the same time, every day it's not going to be rainy. What I'm trying to get you to understand is that you are trading your time for money. So working 10 to 19 years, whereas so at the end of the month, you could have $1,294.33. Look at all that you have to put up with, all that you have to go through to have that amount of capital left at the end of the month. That's a decision that you have to make. But I want you to be aware of it, that it's just not, oh, I work it. No, you dealing with, you know, it's scenarios. I mean, it's life. So you dealing with life. So over that period of time that you work as a reporter or as a journalist, is this worth it to you? It's up to you. But I'm just saying, mathematically speaking, is it worth it? So now I want to do a comparison here. So I've already put this in, and you do your search on whatever the field is, but as a comparison, I did software engineer. And you see the average salary is $88,509. Now watch this, think about this. There's no difference, mathematically speaking, in time between the reporter and the software engineer, between these two people. So coming out of school, BS degree, the reporter or the journalist is coming out averaging $40,000 or $44,000 here at the entry level here. So approximately $40,000. For that same period of time, the software engineer is coming out at $88,000 approximately. Now, look at this. The same period of time, the software engineer, 10 to 19 years, is at $108,000 in comparison to the journalist that's at $60,000. Same period of time, dealing with life, right? Dealing with the scenarios of life over the same period of time. Something to think about. So now let's go back to our calculator again. Let's put in 88,509. 88,509. And you see at the end of the month, after taxes, their take-home pay is $5,421.83 a month. Let's put that in our calculator. It's 5,421. Is that 83? 83, yes. 183. Now let's do our math. So no, wait a minute. Wait. We yes, we did that one. And then we did I was trying to think, should I just go ahead and go straight for the 10-year period? But let's just deal with the 5 year, the entry level period up to 5 years. And to be honest with you, just so you can know, many people will change career paths. So you may be picking a career path now, and it could change in 5 years. Like after you get in the field working in a particular career, it may change. You may not stay in that career for 10 or 20 years. That's just the reality of it. So we have 5,421. Let's go with our average rent minus utilities, minus food. And I did 50 for cell phone, Netflix. We did car. Just did some basics. And at the end of the month, that's $2,852.83. So you see, we're talking about having thousands of dollars in surplus at the end of the month in comparison to $8,000 or a few $100. left at the end of the month. So again, I want you to take time, utilize these tools, utilize these resources so that you can truly know how to plan for college in high school. If you found value in today's lesson, like, subscribe, and share our channel. Thank you for your time. We are complete.